Hi, Michelle Joy here, founder of Global Joy Institute. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about fears because they come up so often in terms of living our highest and best life. Sometimes we feel like, if we'd be brave, we would do A, B, or C, or if we'd be courageous, we would do this or that. But then our fears get in the way of all types of things. They get in the way of us being authentic, of us moving forward and living our dreams and doing things that would make us really excited about life. And so fears can hold us back and can lead us to, living a life that kind of feels stuck and drab and boring and all that stuff. So it's not just as easy, though, as moving beyond your fears, as you know, because I think if it was that easy, we would all have done it. But I also think that there's different types of fears. So we want to get in touch. Anytime you have a fear, you want to get in touch with what that's about. And a fear usually takes the role of resistance in some way. So anytime you want to reach a goal, you want to manifest something, whether you want to publish a book or you want to, go on some dates with new people, if you're single, you want to maybe get a different house, a different job, whatever it is, there's going to be some resistance there. And so you want to actually look what the resistance is. I know sometimes we're taught, to think positively and don't look at what the negative is. And I don't like to call it negative because I think that the fears are just there to protect us, but they don't necessarily serve us well either. But we want to look at what they are, because when we look at what they are, we can handle them and move beyond them, and that's how we can grow and move forward and evolve and expand in our lives. So there's 4 different types of fears. The first one is something I call exhilarating fears, and that's the fear that you feel before you do something exhilarating. Like maybe you put yourself out there to public speak or to teach a class or do something out of the ordinary that you're really stretching yourself and pushing yourself to grow. There's an exhilarating fear that comes with it. Now, maybe you've been told that if something doesn't feel good, then it's not the right thing. But I disagree with that, because with exhilarating fear, it doesn't feel good. You feel anxious, you feel scared, kind of like, why did I put myself in this situation? But you can use that kind of anxiety and that kind of fear to fuel you to move forward. Your body's just not used to that kind of vibe. And so you don't want to use that fear to avoid it, but instead to move through it. So identify that one, move through it. The second type of fear is what I call a self-limiting fear. And so that's when, if you check in with yourself and you notice the fear is saying something like, you can't, you're too awkward, you don't know how to do it, whatever it is. Those are the fears that you don't want to give too much precedence to or too much attention to. And so you can either do one of 2 things with that one. Look for evidence as to why it's false. If one of your self-limiting fears is that you're inferior or you're less than other people, look for all the evidence as to why that's not true. Or you can simply do the drop and switch method, which is when you notice that fear come up, that you are inferior, just drop it and put your attention towards something else, so that you don't entertain it, because the more you think about it, the more it grows and it starts to turn into a belief, which is what, a belief is, just thought over and over and over again. So the drop and switch method works for that one. The third type of fear that's out there is what I call a practical fear. And so maybe, you want to get a job that feels more fulfilling, but then the fear is, what if I'm not qualified? Or what if I need more education? And so maybe that's accurate. So check that out and see, is that actually true? And then you can do something about it. Maybe you can go and get a certificate or get more training or more education. So that's actually, something that's actually practical, and you don't want to ignore that one. And in doing so, that'll help you move forward. And then the fourth one, the final kind of fear, is what I call a realistic fear. And so that one is, realistic. Maybe you feel afraid of a person in your life, and for good reason, and that's an indication that you should pay attention and stay away from that person. Maybe your intuition is telling you to not go on a certain trip, or to stay out of a certain area or something like that, which, is a type of fear to pay attention to. So those are the 4 different types of fears, and again, by tuning into them, it'll help you know what to do about them. Most of the time, I think we just tend to not think about it at all, and then they tend to be a powerful undercurrent in our life that holds us back. So I hope you can use this video to help you process your fears and move forward. Now, if you find this information helpful for your life in terms of helping you expand and give you insights and go forward, there's so much more where that came from. I'd like to invite you to access my free training, which you can do by clicking below. And again, it's free. I've poured my heart and my soul into giving you as much information as I can to help you live your life with joy and authenticity. So again, click below, totally free. I can't wait to see you there. And in all areas of your life, may joy be yours.